every major Batman and Superman movie ranked from worst to best. Batman and Superman are two of the most popular heroes in movie history, and while they share a common goal of fighting crime and corruption, their backgrounds couldn't be more different. As has been explored in numerous films, Bruce Wayne comes from a place of great wealth and privilege, which he uses to procure the tools to battle as his alter ego, Batman. Meanwhile, Kal-El, an alien from the planet Krypton who embraces a new identity on Earth as Superman, comes well equipped with superhuman abilities. Their respective films are often pitched quite differently too, with Batman's darker aesthetic complementing Superman's brighter, hopeful tone. Sometimes the caped heroes appear together in a crossover event, though such films have varied in quality. Ahead, we're ranking every Batman and Superman movie released in cinemas, from 1966's Batman, the movie, to 2025's Superman, to find out who really comes out on top. 20. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, 2016. Batman vs. Superman? Cool! Even cooler with Gotham across the river from Metropolis, suggesting cultural divides between super cities. Too bad 2016's epic non-starter bungles its smash-up with spin-off teases, Iron Man 2's government oversight plot, and whatever Lois Lane, Amy Adams, is doing with that bullet. Director Zack Snyder had a big idea, pairing Ben Affleck's seasoned Bruce against Henry Cavill's rookie Clark. But they're identical monoliths of brute force melancholy. The ultimate battle suffers from CGI sludge, an obvious eventual alliance, and Martha. If only Warner Brothers had just let Snyder make his Killer Superman vs. Machine Gun Batman movie. Darren Franich. 19. Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, 1987. This infamous cheese fest is better than Batman v Superman for two reasons. It's 1 hour shorter and Christopher Reeve. No question, the star's final superfilm exemplifies diminishing returns. Peace begins topically with Kal-El eradicating all nukes. That plan requires hurling missiles into the sun, which, thanks to Lex Luthor, check-cashing Gene Hackman, and his nephew, Lenny, John Cryer, creates evil, charisma-void Nuclear Man, Mark Pillow. Scholars can debate whether the long-haired blonde anti-Superman is sillier than BVS's digital sewer monster Doomsday. We choose the mullet. DF. 18. Superman 3, 1983. Anyone who turns this on expecting to see a buddy comedy between Superman and Richard Pryor, already a strange proposition, is bound to be disappointed because they spend most of the runtime separated into two different movies. Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent embarks on a comedic homecoming trip to Smallville, which doesn't really make sense because the bumbling Clark persona was invented for his double life in Metropolis and would be unrecognizable to high school classmates, so whatever. Meanwhile, Pryor's Gus Gorman is so good at embezzling money that he somehow becomes a corporate cyber terrorist. Annette O'Toole makes a super cute Lana Lang, which led to her even better Superman-adjacent performance as Ma Kent on Smallville. Drunk Naughty Superman is a pretty fun sight, and the evil computer climax resonates a bit now that we're all freaking out about AI again, even if it makes you wonder why they won't just do Brainiac in one of these movies already. Christian Holub. 17. Justice League, 2017. Look, this super team bonanza remains a mulch of career-ending controversy, paradoxical corporate missions, and the questionable need for another gigantic film about teasing Darkseid for later. Viewed just as a Superman movie, Joss Whedon's rewrites give Cavill his best material, reimagining Man of Steel's moody Messiah as an old-fashioned pose-for-the-kids champion, with, yes, a visible non-mustache. Viewed just as a Batman movie, Snyder's HBO Max expansion lets Batfleck plasma rifle a cropload of Paradones. Any Justice League cut stitches one bad comic saga, the 90s death of Superman, into an alien invasion commanded by the unbelievably lame Steppenwolf, Kieran Hins. GF. 15. Batman Forever, 1995. Jim Carrey was on top of the world in 1995. Having just starred in The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, in the previous year alone, Jim Carrey's over-the-top performance as the Riddler must have seemed fresh and zeitgeisty to those seeing Batman Forever in theaters. Absent that context, it's nonsensical and cringeworthy, especially since Tommy Lee Jones is bringing the exact same manic energy. You'd think that a movie featuring Two-Face would have more time for differentiation and tonal surprise. Oh well, we got one eventually. Val Kilmer makes for a pretty middle-of-the-road Batman. Not as painfully miscast as George Clooney, but not as delightfully kinky as Michael Keaton. Speaking of kink, the film's true highlight is Nicole Kidman's performance as Dr. Chase Meridian, the world's worst criminal psychologist, but more importantly, a beautiful woman who is unapologetically horny for Batman. Amid our modern deluge of completely sexless superhero fare, that's one element that has actually aged well. CH. 14. Man of Steel 2013. Nothing has been more polarizing in modern superhero movie discourse than the Snyderverse, which began with the 2013 film that feels like a direct response to Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. Oh, you liked a grittier, darker Batman? Well, we're going to do the same thing now for DC's Beacon of Hope. Nolan produced the flick, and with Zack Snyder at the helm, Man of Steel brought us a more brooding, haunted Kryptonian strongman, seemingly destined to wander the world a shell of himself. He's trapped in endless philosophical and moral debates with the ghostly memory of his dead father, while struggling to integrate into his adopted homeworld of Earth. Despite what you think about the still ongoing debates about Superman killing Zod, the joyless factor deserves its critiques. It also takes some of the intrigue away from what this film is setting up. If you're going to pit Batman against Superman, but both of them are emotional cutters, where exactly is the nuance? Henry Cavill, though, the hunk of man meat made chest hair great again in pop culture. Nick Romano. 14. The Dark Knight Rises, 2012.